Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here with my continuing playthrough and look at Hearts of Iron 3's Black Ice 10.41 currently. And of course, we're playing as Germany. Before we get into that, just in case you're new here, please subscribe to the channel and everyone can hit that like button. And hello, Sir Toyjet. How are you doing today? So, just was asked about the 10.33 series. Now, there were two of them that were sort of put together. One was the main playing version, and with the instability problems, I was doing a testing version. Yes, both of those are dead. That is just too unstable of a version to continue testing when I have something that looks much more stable than what we had before. So yeah, those series, sorry if you were into watching me play through it and wanted to keep going. Yeah, I'd like to too, but instability is just too much. And hello, Klaus. Gotta stop and watch you start playing the damn game. Well, tell you what, Klaus, you need to have two monitors. And that'll solve your basic problem. That way you can watch the videos and play the game. You can do both at the same time. And so, yeah, I know I'm telling you to spend money, but yeah, quite well. I'm doing fairly well, Toyjet, just waking up here in the morning. So if I'm a little slow, it's just, again, waking up and not anything else. Okay, so let's go 1, 2, 3. And I've got to figure out how to do a good multiplayer with this, because I want to do a multiplayer campaign, or 2, or 3. And I think that would be awesome, awesome, awesome. To have all the majors at least played by humans. But keep it within the historical. And yeah, I need a Coke, that's why I went and got one. Within the historical parameters, but yeah. Okay, advanced training centers. Spearhead Doctrine +1. So I presume that is here. Yes, okay, 38, too far in advance. For efficient. You can do it. But, excuse me, efficient research. So if ever you have a critical tech that you think is going to be the war-winning thing, I don't know, super good submarines or something, or whatnot, yeah, you can drive ahead on that tech. Or if you're just like as we are now, basically looking for 37 technologies, which are not as efficient as 36, you can do it. And I always wonder as I'm sitting here, I know most of you know this stuff, but how much should I keep saying it? I don't know. Plan Z, no, we're being smart. We're going to be smart. It just doesn't make sense for Germany to try to outbuild Britain on the Navy and knowing that America is going to be out there. Okay, improve security units. Is that this one? Nope, that would be this one. Cancel. Air systems. Okay, let's get that going. The carriers at the very least, no. Yeah, okay, and thanks for mentioning that, Klaus. I have too many officers right now. So let's, I don't want to ignore officers, and we should have locked down diplomacy first. Ignore officers, I think I hope that'll be good for diplomacy. You're right that you want to do this first. Man, my throat. Like I say, I'm just sort of waking up. Big pew pews, mega cool, but mega expensive. I guess we'll do this. I'm not planning on doing any strategic bomber builds, but I am going to do some heavy transports, and this will help the heavy transports. And we have a little bit more, so we'll do assault gliders. Who cares about money when you're going to have big fat battleships? Oh, well, yeah, that's true. Hitler wants to build a big sports stadium. And I forget some of the details there in TRE, and when we get playing that again, or if you want to look back at that. And to test out, because they don't have, obviously, they do have some mechanical computers, and they're starting some electronic computing, but it's just computing numbers. It isn't obviously displaying this way. So to test how well the sports stadium would work, they go to a side of a hill, basically, lower part of a mountain, and sculpt out a mock-up version of this, so that they could see what it would be like sitting in the top rows and all the different rows of the stadium, and looking down it to where whether it's going to be a Nazi celebration or a sporting event or whatever, just to see lines of sight, and are you just too far away to even function, and all of that type of thing. And they're getting to develop this, and it's going to be built in stone, for the 1,000-year Reich. And so this is happening, 37, 38. And testing, this testing part out is just the early phases of it. And I forget exactly who's bringing it up to Hitler, whether it was Speer or somebody else. It's in the event and is covered. I do better when I have notes like that. And so it all seems going to work, and it was brought up the expense of this thing. It's just the price of two Bismarck or whatever battleships. It's just the price of 2 battleships. They're going to build this stadium, and they're getting ready for a world war. Let's keep building this thing. It's only going to cost as much as 2 battleships. Yeah, okay. Their priorities. Is there a reason you skipped over camo for infantry research? Hello, Beam Slam. Still no brown shirt units filling. No TRE. That's TRE that does that. Is there a reason? Yes and no. Body armor, I still don't really understand why that's even here. I don't consider helmets body. I mean, obviously they are body armor, but I don't understand what the hell this is supposed to be. So I just skip it. Here, probably should be doing it now. One of the reasons early on probably I wasn't doing this. I know why I wasn't doing this early on, is just because this doesn't unlock anything else, where doing these will unlock doing next levels of artillery brigades, next levels of infantry, that kind of thing. So yeah, I should be doing this. So next time, thank you for reminding me. And so yeah, carriers. Okay, let's look at toy jets. Yeah, big battleships, cool. Big pew pews. Should Germany build some capital ships? Yeah, I will say yes. Germany should build some capital ships. National Socialist Germany wishing to do things. And we will be building some. Through here we see ordering the battleship Bismarck. We will be building some. It's cool to have them. They are useful in a war. Carriers. Well, we have... I thought, well, I guess maybe it's because it hasn't fired, or maybe it's TRE. Maybe it's TRE. The Graf Zeppelin is normally also built at some point. But if we look at the geography of this here, carriers really aren't very useful because we're not really trying to be a worldwide or a Pacific area navy. So yeah, carriers and battleships aren't really needed in large numbers. Hello, Eric. Good to have you here. Here in Denmark, we compare big projects with the cost of a bridge over the Storebelt. Lol. Okay. This is much research than historical. I vote for Panther tanks instead of battleships. Better in Russia. Absolutely. Yeah. So we're gonna not build a lot of capital ships. Like we probably will be ordering. The Bismarck. I'm planning on it. Partially just to test this out. And those of you, I hope none of you are under the delusion that this series is probably going to last until Russia. It might. That would sort of be a failure of getting TRE ready and working. Because once we get TRE ready and working and no fuel, like money in exchange for fuel, no. Pretty sure we can fit the Bismarck up the Volga. It's not a Viking ship there, toy jet. Once we get TRE up and running, and then we'll see how long the estimates are on getting GGA and the other submods up and running. Then we will be, well, at some point, probably before the other one's up there, you get to watch me test TRE just alone. And then, so that would be a new start of the game. And then once we get all the submods there, then we'll start the real series that goes on and plays, that really goes far. So those watching now or later, if you're thinking that this particular playthrough is going to go through till whatever conclusion of the game, God, I hope not, because I hope everything gets done before then. Hydrophones advance. So the longer this series is, the more a failure of the modding is happening. So even the ship channel through here wasn't terribly big. I'm not sure when they completed it. I know it's not on the map here, but there was a ship channel through here. They would take fairly smallish ships, fairly small. Things that would be categorized as a ship, but just barely, and get them into the Caspian. Everyone knows that the Aral Sea is basically gone. Thanks, socialism. No, we're not selling crude oil. Yeah, well, I don't really think TRE is the cause of any bugs, or any of the real bugs that we're seeing in the older versions. I'm not saying there's zero bugs in TRE, but things that are crashing stuff. Pocket Battleship Advance, very good. It's here. No, okay, yeah, here we are. Stop that, okay. Well, let's continue looking at the air. Yeah, let's do naval bombers. I do have some worries on GGA. And I'll explain here since it's sort of what we're doing today. At the start of each month, you'll even notice with this, even though I have no saves, and I should probably... I think I'm going to re-enable monthly saving just as a test. That way, if we are crashing with monthly saving monthly, we'll know it and whether we should do that or not. But at the beginning of each month, the game looks to see what events need to fire for the upcoming month. And so it quickly goes through, and you can even see a pause here without the pause to save it, as it examines everything that it might need to happen. So what will happen is like if you have a condition, Germany controls Amsterdam. Well, if at the beginning of the month, Germany doesn't control Amsterdam, it will decide it doesn't need to do that. And so even if Germany controls Amsterdam later in that month, and you're supposed to fire, say, 2 days after the control of Amsterdam, it won't fire until the beginning of the next month's check. So a lot of events can be delayed for a bit. Well, Revolver held particularly improved, and I'm doing that in air quotes, and he did his coding technique to do a mean time to happen. And those of you who know better, I'm a monkey see, monkey do coder. I've got to find examples, even including my own examples, and sort of change things. So that he has set up in his stuff that will check improves the checks so that they happen all the time, basically. I think you can put in like, will not happen till the year 1938. So it won't really check before that, but once it checks, then it starts checking all the time to happen, so that it puts more stress on the system. Well, that, I thought, was the main cause of instability. It is, as they found out, not the main cause of stability, but once they, it does add to instability. So I really wish he and other people who are making stuff would only use the mean time to happen coding when it's something that needs to be more dynamic and less like, hey, if it takes an extra 30 days to happen, doesn't really matter. That way we put less stress on the system. Okay. Why are there no pocket aircraft carriers, Beam Slam? Well, I thought I never called pocket, but they have what they call the Jeep aircraft carriers, or the CVEs, the escort carriers that the Americans pumped out a huge number of them. And they also did the CVLs, the light aircraft carriers that still had proper, speed to keep up with the main fleet aircraft carriers. So the U.S. did two types of light aircraft carriers, if you will, pocket, if you will. No pocket aircrafts. Okay. I thought jokes were supposed to be funny. Or is that not supposed to be a joke? Okay, capital R transport ships. Let's so we'll switch that over there. And the other is capital ship raiders, which is that here? No. Sorry, too much coffee. See, text jokes don't necessarily work because timing and punchlines and stuff. Capital ship raiders. Is it naval and I just missed this? Oh, here it is. It's, yeah, okay, it's one and done. Okay, so yeah, we're not doing any more of that. We're getting the transport engines worked on and focusing on submarines. For Germany in this game and or in real life. Let's first answer it, in my opinion, in the game. I don't think you can win by using submarines in the game. But submarines can be helpful. What just fired? Okay, truck. And prime movers. So if you dump a lot of expenses into submarines and then that would better be put in the, we're talking in the game, that would better be put into aircraft and tanks. I don't think you can bring, in a practical sense, you can bring victory that way. But if you put enough resources into submarines, that causes the Allies, first Britain, then America, and even the Soviet Union, to put greater ICs. So it's the idea that if you're putting, say, 40 ICs into submarines, and they're putting 120 ICs into anti-submarine operations, well, I think you're winning. Because you're putting in less resources and forcing them to use up more resources. That's how I try to use submarines in this game, in that you have enough to be effective in disrupting supply, disrupting their, trade communications, but that you're not going to win with them. You don't overdo it, but you do it. So, small ships. Now, I don't know if because they've increased some of the real chances of doing surprise attacks. The only way motor torpedo boats can, I think, be effective at all against any allied stuff is if they have a surprise attack rating. But otherwise, they're just sort of, cheap junk to make a little bit. Oh shit. Oh no. Okay. We survived. Woo! That would have been a crash. I'm surprised it didn't crash. You really don't want to keep the production screen open or something open too much. Okay. Oh, well, we were in this screen, so had that been in the production screen, that was sort of a funky thing. Right. Okay. Twin engine airframe research advance. Grayed out. Fine. Flying boat. And so you want to sort of jujitsu them, as I sort of think of it. Make them spend more on stopping the submarines than you're spending on submarines. And then just conquer everything. Small ships, they're useful for a lot of operations. Okay, what is that? That's the 8th Party Congress. Okay, we're going to get... Don't worry about the loose industry. They're all gains. Yeah, we know about it. There's no way expand our factories. Automotive factory in Kiel. Very good. We are getting close to our max, I think, as we could. Okay, yes. Soviet Union, we would give them money for rare materials. Okay, we will do that. Yeah, I think you're more of a historical player than I am, Klaus. We're down to medium popularity. We're, oh no, we're up to, we've lost the negative effect, so that's good. So that means more research. I'm much more of the type that wants historical parameters, shall we say, but the ability to not make the same mistakes. Okay, well, you don't want to go over, I believe there's still the max you want, and we're dancing really close to it. I believe is 250 in 1936, or you start getting economic penalties. Let me look at this. Okay, and it's modified. Yeah, I'm going to move these three to the bottom just to make sure nothing's going over the limit. Um, so I'm pretty sure it's 250. And what if you're getting, and we're obviously within 7, that is dancing super close. So we're getting towards the end of the year. Yeah. Hello, Ragar. Well, it's in the code that it says just when you start getting some of the negative effects from over producing factories. And you know what I'm going to do here is I'm going to leave this on here. I'm going to Alt Tab out. This is a stability test actually. What I'm doing right now. I'm going to leave that running. If the screen goes black, it's sometimes it's just the game has crashed, which is fine. But I'm coming in here to look at the files to see if or what they currently are. Okay. I think it's an event. I think it's, oh my god. What the hell is this thing? Okay, well, that's all remmed out. Did I still say rem? That's still the thing, or is there some other? Okay, let me look at 10.3. Mm, okay, I'm not seeing it quickly here. This is chaotic. The file structure here. And I don't remember exactly where. No, it wouldn't be that. Well, when you overpressure the economy, basically. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what. Okay, maybe it's in decisions here. Okay, yes, it's in decisions. OMG decisions. Let me look back up and I'll get okay. OMG decisions. Okay, in 36, Oh, wow. Okay, they've changed it. They've changed it, I believe. Well, yeah, I think they've changed it. It's 400 in 1936. You don't want to go over 436, and then you start getting bad things. In 37, it's 480. In 1938 is 650. And let's see. And I think that goes all the way through till 1940. So 650 for 38 and 39, and then it's gone. No freeze. I'm just alt tabbed out of it. Coming back in. That's in the code. Okay. So they've changed it from my memory. Now, we could have more ICs right now. But I actually tested and did the math of looking at no, not mixed industry, going to war economy here, and war economy here, going from this to this, and I actually swapped them out here. We would go from plus 10% ICs to plus 25% ICs. But during peacetime, you go from plus 20% consumer goods needed to plus 25 more percent needed consumer goods. And in looking at the amount of increase from this number here to going to war economy, I forget what it was, and it was fewer ICs at the time. It would add, I don't know, let's just, for sake of argument, add 20 ICs to the to your adjusted amount, but it would add 30 ICs or something needed for consumer goods. So it was, yeah, until into the war with Russia did he go to start moving it into a full war economy. You're absolutely right, Klaus. Absolutely right. You'll need more ice. The idea is you would have more ICs, sure, but you would need to have more ICs than you would gain overall in consumer goods. So right now, in peacetime, it is better to, in my opinion, to stay with a full mobilization and not have to worry about it, because currently we have enough modifiers that we're not putting any money or any ICs into consumer goods. So we're fine there. So, going to needing less consumer goods, we don't care about it because you don't get a positive amount of ICs back from that. So this is the best at the moment. This would get us more, but with more penalties. But during wartime, as you can see here, you actually need less consumer goods. So, yeah, and then, of course, you have total economic mobilization. And so that is sort of, I would say, historically, full mobilization, I'm not sure when that would have happened. War economy, more into maybe early 42. Total economic mobilization was probably happening more in 43 and beyond. Man, my throat, sorry. So, yes, you will want to do these when you can. Excuse me. Once the war has started. So yeah, okay, so we're fine with that. So I'm going to change this back again. Let's just move these guys up to the top again, so they won't push us over at all. So we'll want to get those done fast. That was a good stability test. Alt tabbed in and out while recording, and looked at some of the files. I could not have done that with 10.33. Not at all. In 37, we're going to fire some of these events here. Okay, decided to buy copper from the United States. And they're buying nickel from Canada. Yeah, I hear you, Klaus, but Germany did not, as we were talking, did not fully utilize their production. I think, again, this is think, not know. I think in World War I, they more rapidly expanded their economy than they did in World War II. Cavalry exploitation, is that still something we can do? Yes, we want to do that one more. Would like crude oil? No, we are building up a stock of crude oil. So, because you can look like after the fall of France, Germany either cancels or doesn't continue, they had already ordered, say, 200 tanks and doesn't add to the order of tanks because, hey, the war is over and we're going to want new models for the next war. So stop building these old Panzer IIIs. We're going to want new models eventually. And so they slow down to stop some of the war production in the middle of the war. So, yeah, it may show the limitations of what is available for the field, but not Germany's actual production limitations. Stormtrooper tactics. And so we don't know. There's so much we just don't know. Okay, so we can start doing these as soon as we have more leadership to use. And so we're all, we're looking back and trying to figure out what it was. And we just don't know. We have ideas. We're making guesses. I don't mean just mod makers, but or game developers, but even the academics. Yeah, well, he expects a quick war with Russia, but also to the point is he and the top generals couldn't tell industry that we're going to even be going to war with Russia because that would leak out at some point. So they had to pretend the war was mostly over, except for the submarines out in the Atlantic, and Britain's going to surrender any day now, and some aircraft operating. So in late 1940, early 41. The war is winding down within everybody's perception of things. They've had their great victory parade in Berlin for the war, basically. And it's just those holdout British that are going to collapse any day now. And so once, it isn't really until winter of 41, beginning of 42, that we see. Oh, okay. Let me sound up a little better because I'm not hearing the little blip that we just got. An event or a technology political indoctrination. And that is here. Right. Okay. Come back over here. We've got that. And so I look at this as we're making guesses. That's just, I guess, about all I can say is so much information was lost. So even if we had it, we're still making guesses. Maybe well-educated guesses, but guesses. And in my mind, I'm not playing like, well, what if Nazis weren't Nazis and they treated their various conquered peoples or other undesirable peoples like Jewish peoples sensibly and used them for proper, labor and research and, development of things. Well, no, they're still Nazis. They're still going to be Nazis. But if you look at things like bomb damage, you have the Krupp Potez small 6-axle truck that you see early in the war. Well, that factory gets bombed. And so they stop producing those trucks because they're only built in the one factory. They have Opel Blitzes and other things in production. So instead of trying to put them back into production, they just go, oh, no, those are done. Well, what if that factory isn't bombed? What if you make different choices earlier on that limits the effectiveness of bombing, meaning more aircraft, fighter aircraft set up and more bomber offensives. So we don't know, we may, though we don't fully, we may know what was produced, but we don't know what could have been produced. And it isn't always the same. Okay, we'll no longer see money for metal from Finland, which is not good. Okay, would like money? No. Okay, money for metal. Well, let's see what we can do with selling to the USA or Soviet Union. Okay, they have some money. They need some supplies. Let's see. Okay, that looks like a decent amount of money. Replace that. USA has even more money currently available. They don't want supplies for some reason. Okay. United Kingdom. Maybe they still like us enough to trade. Yay. We've not been behaving very badly, so they still want to trade with us. Let's get that going. And I will definitely be talking in more detail about all this stuff when I make the proper series. However, okay, they've expanded here, but they've lost ground up here. So the Nationals had been down in the little pocket, and that's probably why they're cutting some of their trades with us, because they don't need so much resource because they've lost ICs. Okay, let's reduce this down even more because we've sort of really doing. We want to have a positive balance of supplies so that we can sell some more, but we might as well expand this up a bit. Get all of these in production. Okay, defensive positions, allowed research, Great War analysis. Okay, are we still analyzing the Great War? Yeah, we'll continue analyzing the Great War. All right, well, we're going to end this episode, not the live stream, but the episode here. I want to thank you all for watching. Thanks for liking the videos, and see you next time for even more, yes, more Hearts of